UFC fans are making it clear to the UFC that they are done with Jon Jones. They are done with the UFC protecting him and preventing Tom Aspinall from becoming the greatest heavyweight of all time and going on to be one of the best fighters to ever do it potentially. But instead, we have a complete gong show where Dana White has no idea when the fight's happening. He's reassuring us it will happen. It will happen. We'll just wait on it. How much longer does Tom Aspinall need to wait to build his career? How long does he need to wait to make his money? He's 31 years old. He's in his prime. This is when he's supposed to be making money. And the sad part of this situation, we're past a minute, I can swear. The fucked up part of this situation is Tom Aspinall has become one of the biggest names in the sport by not fighting, by having to scream the champion's name, by having to go on Pierce Morgan, go on news stations, other YouTubers' channels, and call for a shot that he rightfully deserves. Apart from Silicon and Jolton Almeida, Tom Aspinall has beaten everyone. And the only loss that he has is to Curtis Blades when he broke his leg, which he ended up finishing Curtis Blades in the first round last year around summertime. I forgot when the fight happened. We'll go look at it later. 150 signatures. 150,000, sorry. That is half of the pay-per-view buys for UFC 315. That is like, on average, the, viewership of some of these cards recently. And it's an entire division. Well, let's push Aspinall to the side for a second. Alexander Volkov came out, and he said he's pissed off. I should have brought up the article, but I had it in my other video. You guys know that he recently came out and said, I'm pissed off at this situation. I only have so much time to win this belt, and because of Jon Jones holding out the division, I may not get that chance. And he's already fought. Tom got submitted by Tom, I believe. And heavyweight is just a mess in itself. The best heavyweights in the UFC aren't even ranked. And even then, there are only a handful of guys that show legitimate potential. That's not just, some fat guy went to an MMA gym for maybe a year or two. I had maybe a few backyard fights and then got on the Dana White Contender Series. But because of Jon Jones, the entire division has stalled out. Nobody cares about heavyweight. You know what? Without going to the UFC rankings, name 5 heavyweights that are ranked. I'll do this. Name 5 ranked heavyweights from rank 6 to 15. Derek Lewis is one of them. And yeah. I mean, Tybura, Marcin Tybura, maybe he's top 10 still. The UFC is fucking killing their brand because of this shit. And also, too, which I will have to make a short on it after this video. Guess what other fight is being talked about now? Connor versus Chandler. Really? Are we really gonna do the same song and dance that we've done since 2022? And the ironic part about this is that both of these fights, the hype for these fights, started around the same time. And it's looking more likely that the guy who broke his leg, who has been in court cases for the last few months, who is in charge with all this stuff, who's trying to run for president of Ireland. He's trying to run for presidency in a country. There is a better chance we get that fight at this point than the number one contender, the interim champion, who has defended the interim belt, who looks like he will defend it once again. You know, you have Tom Aspinall's announcement the other day, which might as let's go look at that stuff really quick. Hurry up. Tom Aspinall. Okay, so he made his announcement yesterday. He made this announcement a few days ago where he put a date on here, and then it's, him looking at the camera. And you guys remember, heavyweight news coming soon. Sorry guys, I'm fighting for a new belt. The interim of the interim BMF UFC heavyweight title. Living my best life. Get the bucket and corner gloves on, son. I'm about to make my 37th title defense of the 37th defense of the interim title. He's calling out Guru. Well, Guru, I have to, you know what? I have to say it. As a Jon Jones fan, Guru has been putting in the work. Guru has been the one before the whole trend to shit on Jon Jones happen. Okay, buddy who made the petition here. Go follow him, by the way. He has some funny posts, but he makes this announcement, and what's the big announcement? Champion. He partnered up with Champion Europe. UFC Heavyweight Champion Tom Aspinall isn't just a name on a fight card. When he fights, I'm sorry, he's not a name on a fight card. He's currently sitting out, doing nothing. When he wants to be in there, he rips up the blueprint of what the modern athlete looks like. An elite fighter at the top of his game, a heavyweight with the agility of a middleweight, paired with champions proud heritage, stretching back generations in combat. A new champion partnership, and then link in bio. So then you got Tomo's diet to, trying to get Tom to sign the petition, which I think Tom actually did. But there's no way of knowing if it was the real Tom. You got Rico Verhoeven. This is sad. Um, I'm gonna leave, his Instagram in the comments down below. I don't know if it's playing, copyrighted music. And YouTube lately has kind of been dinging some of my videos, so I'm not gonna risk it. 150,000 people. Let's refresh it. 150,413. So I went up with 200 in the past few minutes. Dana has no control right now. Dana White has made it clear to us that if you're a superstar, if you draw money for them, this is gonna fucking load. Hurry up. I swear to fuck, if you don't fucking load, oh my, well, whatever. We'll look at the rankings if we get to look at them. So, um, what does it say to people outside of MMA? What does it say to somebody who's interested? Who's, maybe not a hardcore, maybe not even a casual. Maybe they watch like 2 pay-per-views a year. This is one of the biggest stars right here. Jon Jones is a star. Jon Jones has been on top of the sport. And honestly, it's sad to say, without the controversies, I don't think he's as popular as he is right now. You have Volkov, who again wants to fight for the title before he retires. Cyril Gahn just robbed Volkov. He got KO or got submitted by John. Beats Vivek, but I mean, yeah, I don't care about a Vivek win. Curtis Blades got knocked out by Aspinall, knocked out Jolton Almeida, knocked out by Palpovich. But again, I know he trains with Jon Jones, yet another guy that wants to fight for the title before he retires. Pavlovich really needs to get back on track after losing the 2 fights to Tom and Volkov, obviously. Tom won the interim belt off of him 2 years ago, nearly. Jolton Almeida, I think he's one of the funnest heavyweights we have right now. And I've been saying this for a while. I think he is a very, very bad matchup for Jon Jones due to the fact that he is a natural heavyweight. He has really good grappling and he's really athletic. He TKO'd Sergey Spivak. He submitted Romanov. Got KO'd by Blades before that. Rosenstrike. This guy. And Anton Takahashi. Francis Ngannou. I guess this is the MMA heavyweight rankings. What? Yeah. I guess this is the MMA rankings, but still, we know what happened with Francis. Francis was the champion. We wanted the Jones fight. Francis fought out his contract, did his obligations to the UFC, and made the better financial decision. I think they were saying he would make 10 mil from the John fight. Flat, pay-per-view, obviously. But if you looked at it, he said he always wanted to box. Went out, boxed Tyson Fury in a fight that many people thought he won, even though it was an exhibition. He got KO'd by Joshua, but still, he probably made 30-40 million off of that compared to 8 million to fight Jones. And then they would have probably put him back on, 700, which is what was being reported, at least from sources I know. He was making 700 to fight Steve, which is not bad. He was barely making a million flat for the. Oh wait, no, it was 400K. 400K to fight Stipe the second time, and then I think I heard mixed numbers for the Gone fight. I heard 700K. I heard around a mil, and then obviously pay per view, which I, I forgot what numbers they did. Shamil Gaziev, a really really dangerous fighter on the come up. He beat Thomas Pedersen, Dontel Mays. He got KO by Rosenstrike, but again, Badea Velasco. He's running through people. It's only a question of can he do it against high level competition? Sergey Spivak. Um, he's been up and down the last few years. Got KO by Almeida, beat Tybura, lost to Gon. Lewis, he submitted, beat Augusto Saki and Greg Hardy, lost to Tom Aspinall. Marcin Tybura, 11. I kind of just shit on him. I have nothing against Tybura. He's a fun fighter. Beat McParkin by decision. Denny, Denise, he beat by TKO. Spivak lost to Russia. Bogoyev, Ivanov. Tybura's not fighting for the belt anytime soon. Derek Lewis, fan favorite. He did make it to the title against DC. I believe that was in 2021, 2020-ish, somewhere around there. It was right after the Volkov knockout, where he came back at the last second, and then he dropped the famous "My balls was hot," became a meme, and one of the biggest fan favorite fighters we've ever seen. Most knockouts in the division. We all love Derek Lewis. Vadim Nemkov, I don't think he's in the UFC. But Waldo Cortez Acosta, Jairzinho Rosenstrike, he's out of the UFC right now. But you look at all these as Kennedy Njokuani, moving up to heavyweight was such a smart decision for him. He does much better at heavyweight, and I've been saying it a while, and MMA Guru has been saying it longer than me. If you are a middle of the pack heavyweight, put on an extra 15, 20 pounds, and you can become a ranked fighter in the heavyweight division. McParkin just lost to Tybura. Romanov, he's on a 2-fight win streak, but I mean, lost to Almeida and Volkov, top of the division. Renan Ferreira over in PFL. Maybe he comes over. But look at how dead the heavyweight division is. Majority of these names aren't even in the UFC. Aware Latifi, Ryan Bader. Why? Why are we completely destroying? Okay, stop shaking, camera. Why are we completely destroying entire divisions? Heavyweight is dead. Heavyweight has no hype. And now we're gonna do another Conor Chandler fight, which most likely won't go down. Maybe Conor breaks his other toe. Maybe Michael Chandler gets injured. I'm fucking over it, dude. I am fucking over it. I had to do predictions for Macy Barber and Aaron Blanchfield in the fucking Apex. The Apex. Again, it's just it looks like Dana White doesn't want to be there. I don't know if it's TKO. I don't know if it's the UFC. I don't know who it is. But the marketing is shit. We're not getting the fights we want. Boxing is doing way better than the UFC right now. Boxing has a ton of major fights coming up, and they had that big time score event a few weeks ago, where it was the doubleheader weekend. Fucking GFL. If if that was an actual organization, and it wasn't just a joke, rest in peace, GFL. That shit's officially dead. I might make one last video, putting it to rest. But we're wasting a generational talent. We're destroying the heavyweight division. Supposed to be the biggest division in the UFC. You know, you never know what will happen in a heavyweight fight. I know you never know what happens in any fight. But with a heavyweight fight, one shot ends that fight at any moment. But no, I'm one of the biggest Jon Jones fans on this site. And I'm fucking over him holding up an entire division. Dana White defending him at all costs. And we're wasting one of the biggest stars in the sport. Tom Aspinall is a household name now. My mom, my mother, who apart from my YouTube channel, knows absolutely fuck all about this sport. She watches Tom Aspinall. She watches his interview. She actually sent it to me. Like when he went on Pierce Morgan, my mom, I'm very bad at answering text messages. I am for everyone. I really do need to work on it. But even she was sending me Tom interviews. Even she understands this situation, and she doesn't know a fucking thing about this sport. All she knows is Brock Lesnar, because he was one of my favorites. Conor McGregor, she's heard that name. I think she's heard GSP, and then maybe like the Diaz brothers. Um, I did. Okay, funny enough though, I did get her to watch when I was younger. Um, JDS versus Kane. It was a Fox event. I think that was the second fight when Kane came back against JDS after being finished and demolished him in that fight, and then demolished him again for 5 rounds in the trilogy. One of the best trilogies of all time, by the way. If you have not watched JDS versus Cain Velasquez, I watched that trilogy not even a few weeks ago, actually. One of my favorite trilogies ever. But even my mom understands that Jon Jones is wasting one of the biggest stars we have in the UFC and destroying an entire division. And I've wanted Jon Jones to move up to heavyweight ever since Cain Velasquez was champion. But I don't know, man. We'll see. I will leave the petition link down below. If you guys want to sign it, share it if you haven't already. But let me know, what resolution does the UFC need to actually be taken seriously and turn around the UFC? I know we have International Fight Week. I know we have DDP versus Hamza. We have big fights. But it takes forever. Dana White needs to be held hostage in a hotel to do his job. And even then, it's a shitty Instagram live. No big press conferences anymore. But let me know, what do you think about this petition? What do you think the UFC should do? And when do you expect either this fight to be announced or Jon Jones to be stripped? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. I'm eager to hear what you guys have to say, because in the MMA world, besides BJ Penn, this is the most important topic for the UFC, for fans, for the business, for Tom, and for Jon Jones as well. Well, let me know what you have to say. Thanks for watching. Later.